Hey guys, PrinceofMacedon here. I'm going to do a commentary video for Total War Rome 2. This battle will be fought on the Iska map, and it's a Carthage vs Iceni battle. I command the Carthaginians. My opponent's name is Gwenjos1 in command of the Iceni. I don't know if Gwenjos1 is a female or male, so I'll try to avoid assigning a gender to that person. So I have one African war elephant for my general, one Libyan javelinman, two Libyan peltas, three African pikes, three Libyan infantry, two mercenary noble fighters, and three mercenary scutarii. And I'll mention my opponent's setup in a bit. But as for now, you can see Gwenjos' army right there. You can see the cards. It's a bit bigger than mine. And my army is very imbalanced. It's basically a bunch of foot units plus an elephant. But I did not bring any cav, so oops. And it wasn't an accident. I meant to do it. I just wanted to see what kind of ridiculous setup I could come up with and try it out online. But there's a rundown of my units right there. So yeah, I'm going to come off my hill, and I want to go up and attack my opponent on their hill. So I'm going to blitz forward, and you can see my opponent's sending out all of their cav, like all around the map there. There's some scout riders up there. The main portion of my opponent's troops is on that hill, and then there's more cavalry on the other side. Those are the heroic riders. So those are the heroic riders near my right wing, very far off to my right wing, and this is my opponent's main part of their army. So one chariot, one Briton scout rider, three heroic riders, three Briton slingers, five chosen sword bands, two druidic nobles, and one painted one. It's kind of funny, we both put our general on a very weird unit. I put my general on an African elephant, my opponent put their general on a chariot. So my goal is to lead with my peltas and my javelinmen so they absorb the enemy's slingers first. Because I was running, I didn't realize that my peltas weren't all in the front, unfortunately, but some of them are in the front, so they are getting nailed by those rocks from the slingers here. So here's the slinger cam, killing tons of my Carthaginians, which is a very cosmopolitan army. Most of my troops are Libyan, actually. But look at those chariots running behind my lines there. You can see them in the background. And those chariots are going up towards my elephant, where my elephant is taking on some scout riders. But meanwhile, I'm moving up my my infantry. Gonna move up my African pikemen. But yeah, this is happening in the back line. My elephant is being smothered by those scout riders and by those chariots. So the scout riders, they didn't last too long in this fight, but the chariot riders managed to freak my elephants out for a bit. So my opponent's making some pretty bold moves with their chariot, considering that's where their general's at. If you look at the background, yeah, my opponent's launching cavalry attacks on my infantry on both sides. Over here, my opponent got this really nice charge on the back of my peltast. And these are the heroic riders. Good thing my peltas are pretty tough and resilient because they can hold their ground for a bit long enough for reinforcements to come. But this is where I put my African pikemen. They're just going to confront, or just hold the enemy in place right there. While the rest of my troops, all my sword units, are going around the flanks. See this? And my opponent's going to move some troops to meet me. There's going to be some druidic nobles coming out. So right there, those are the druids chasing after my guys. When I realized there was druids, I turned these guys back to face those druids, because I don't think the druids are really good for a melee fight. So over here, my opponent launched some of their cav at my infantry, but I was able to turn my infantry around. So they went smack into the fronts of my infantry. They weren't pike units, but they were still facing the fronts of my infantry. But this is when I brought in my elephants. They're still being harassed by the enemy's general. But luckily, my elephants will make it to the enemy's lines there, and that's where the enemy's sword bands are. So they're going to cause havoc. And I'm going to let my elephants just run right through the enemy's center. And then I'm going to push my phalanx into them. So yeah, there was a risk of my elephants freaking out and me losing control. In fact, I think I lost control of my elephants 2 or 3 times during this battle. So that was kind of a nuisance, to be honest. I wonder if the flaming missiles have a stronger effect in Emperor's Edition. I have to test that out. But if you look on the right, there's a big fight right there. On the left, the enemy continues to charge with the cavalry. But on the right, that fight right there at the bottom of the hill, that's going to go on until the end of the battle. This is where it's at. And this is my opponent losing their general. That's the chariot general. But remember, that's going to be where the fight's going to end later on. So I was able to bring over these Libyan infantry. This is behind the enemy's main body here. Instead of going after those slingers who thought they were being targeted, I went for the back of the enemy's center here. So this is a rear charge, right into the backs of his sword bands and his other infantry units. And my elephants are right there. Remember, they were leading the charge into the enemy center. So my elephants and my Libyan infantry kind of converge on the enemy's infantry center. And I do have a unit right there, peeled off to chase after those slingers. Because I have no cav, and I'm not gonna let my elephants chase after those slingers. That's a waste. So I just peeled off a unit of infantry just to, just to scare them away. But there's the fight at the bottom of the hill right there, still on the bottom left. That fight's gonna rage on forever until the end of this video, anyways. And this was going on down there at the bottom of the hill. You can see my Carthaginian infantry going up against those painted ones. I believe that those are the painted ones. And still my elephants are still there, but every once in a while they did lose control. But you can see in the forest, my infantry is pretty much supreme right there. And if you look at the balance bar, my infantry, or my army is pretty much gaining the upper hand in this fight. And my opponent peeled off some of his cav to chase down some of my dudes back there. That's fine. I just wanted to dominate the center, which I'm doing right now. He only has a few troops left in the center, and once I take them out, then I can help my troops fight him at the bottom of the hill. And I'm just pretty much ignoring the cavalry. That's all I can do. I can turn around when they come, but for the most part, I'm kind of at his mercy with the cavalry. So it looks like, yeah, he has one infantry unit up there resisting. Then he has his cavalry down here. So I peeled off some infantry from the forest, where I have pretty much superiority right there. It's gonna have him chase after the enemy's cav. And my elephants continue to bash at that infantry unit right there. So even though I lost control of my elephants quite a few times, I still had them. So we're gonna watch these elephants kick some serious butt right here. Look at this. Boo! Look at that horse. I mean, in real life that would have been tragic, but this is a video game. Look at those guys. They're like the freaking Bruce Lees of the ancient world. The Bruce Lee of animals. Look at that. Bam! So at this point, all my troops right there were victorious. There's no more Iceni troops out there. The only Iceni troops left are fighting at the bottom of the hill. So I'm going to take all my victorious troops, and I'm going to join the fight down here. I don't know how these guys have been fighting like forever. It's just been an ongoing struggle, but that's about to end when all my Carthaginian troops converge here. Led by my elephants, and we're going to watch some more elephants kicking butt, even though one of them just fell to his death. Oops. So look at those elephants. Very powerful. You just got to make sure you don't lose control of them. And if you do lose control of them, make sure, or hope that you gain control, or regain control over them. Anyways, it was a costly victory. We're going to look at the damage here. So, almost equal kills. My army was a lot bigger, though. But a good game to Gwenjos 1. Hope you guys enjoyed this cinematic commentary video. And hope you enjoyed looking at Carthage with the cinematic feature here. And look at my general with 154 kills.